It's a coach. Standout performance. He scores around the league at halftime.
The summer beach weather may be long gone. Moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fight. Along with Charles Davis to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and special teams, let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come in field
shutout on the road. And that's something that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I'm going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Here we go. 15, run. 15, run. Get it. Play.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do? And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Samson Abuka racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Bortles. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Samson Abuka, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Man, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Now here's Michael Dixon, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley, his 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, This is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Seattle offense wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week: 16 carries, 83 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Value 3, value 3.
On 1st and 10, Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Bang, 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 bang.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards the pickup there. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
On first down, it's Gurley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They'll go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down.
Hey, let's go. Go, ground.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. They're in coverage to knock it.
And you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's going to cut it back right. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. And with the day he's having, as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week.
Whatever it is, guaranteed he will ask for the exact same thing each and every week as long as he continues to run like that. Sometimes it's that simple, partner.
Yeah.
And
you know how superstitious these guys can be.
Oh, there's no doubt, right? If you put your left sock on first and you have this kind of game, you'll keep doing it. In this case, let's investigate that pregame meal. We might need some of that.
Yeah, right. It's working. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. Second quarter now from Los Angeles. It is the Rams in possession. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Throwing on third. Goff. They got him in. It's Woods. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Gurley on first down with no blocking help there as he won't even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 1.
A loss of 1 brings up 2nd and 11 at their 48-yard line.
5.
On 2nd and 11 now. Goff, he gets it to Gurley, complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Out of the gun, Goff. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th.
I can't believe they even let you play.
12.
Hey, watch it.
Here we go on 4th. Goff. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing again is Goff. Eluding the pressure right. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Check.
What's that?
58's the mic.
12.
58's the mic.
Hey, Shell. Hey, tonight.
To the air again. Goff. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Goff throwing again. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
There's Goff. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in the huddle and said,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Abuka in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those two hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Carson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. It's taken on the 25. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? But now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Draw play. This is Carson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get in the field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And the Panthers are out in front as they play the second quarter. The Panthers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Austin Carr, a touchdown reception.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go.
Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. The Dolphins trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Gone. And that's complete to Cooks. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. On first down, it's gone. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that was a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
14.
From the 50, it's gone. He gets it to Cooks. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Goff now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. again. Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Look at the big man rumble. He's at the 30, 10, and they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Merlin. Hey, Echo.
From the 27, Goff. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Henderson will try and run for the first. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Hey, let's go. Go ground.
They're going to go for it. It's gone. And this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
They run it with Carson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set. 60 outlaw.
Let's get some penetration here.
On first down, Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. On second down now, it's Carson. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is caught. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. L.J. Collier. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 on the Seahawks' 29-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Tight ends on the loose. Tight ends on the loose.
Back to throw, gone. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. The Rams on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Goff now looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. They forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true, that's actually right.
That happens more often than you might think. They go ahead and snap it. Gone. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on fourth down. They're now 1 for 3 on fourth down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on fourth down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have fourth down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run again with Carson. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. This is Carson. And he is not going to get the first down as he'll spot this at about the 28. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. This will be fielded at the 17. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Now a 1st down throw, gone. And that one's complete to Gurley. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Now it's Gurley. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Gurley again here on 1st down. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is gone. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
On 4th down, gone. And this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, that's the 4th time that they've tried to go for it on 4th down. They've only converted once, Charles.
And obviously not a good percentage. And if you're going to go for it on 4th down, you think that you've got the right play dialed up. You can't be stopped. Your momentum's going to keep going. But 1 for 4, that tells you that you need to look at things in a different way, and you need to tip your cap to the defense. They've done a great job.
They'll keep it on the ground. Carson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. On third down, it's Carson, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now it's gone. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up the first down.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Gurley. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Here's Gall. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Robert Woods, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead. And there was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now Goff will lead the Rams up to go for 2.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. 12, 12.
Out of the gun, Goff. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So the victory here for Seattle. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for the Seahawks, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for L.A., it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.